Never in my life have I heard so many people talk about cheating in football. That very clearly there's something going on, and it's all has to do with the gambling, and the gambling has become so prolific and proficient. Everybody's doing it, ubiquitous, that would be the right word, that clearly games are getting manipulated in order to beat the spread, not beat the spread. It's nuts. And this was the latest. This was Dave Portnoy over there at Barstool. And so he posts this video to his Twitter feed. So I don't know what the rules are, but I'm sharing it. If the NFL wants to come take it down, that's fine. This is the Broncos-Raiders game. Now, full disclosure, I am not saying that anybody is doing nothing. God, I'm trying to avoid that lawsuit. I'm noticing what it is people are saying a lot. This conversation is coming up everywhere, that there's something really weird going on. This is the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Broncos are up. By the way, they've won 10 in a row. They're nuts. They're good. They're now 11-2. The Broncos are up 24-14. And Portnoy, who I don't know, is just losing his mind. It's a 2-minute clip where he's like, everybody has to go to prison. Listen.
We need this entire segment investigated by the NFL. 3rd and 3, there's 24 seconds. The spread is Denver minus 8.5. They were up 24-7, by the way, with like 2 minutes to go. He spikes the ball. Why are you spiking the ball with 16 seconds in a 10-point game is beyond me. The game is over. I don't know that I've ever seen a spike in that situation.
Now, he's got a solid point there. The Broncos are up by 10. There's 16 seconds left. You're not going to get 2 scores in 16 seconds. What's the point of it all? It's over. Go for the end zone just to go for the end zone. It's done. Spiking the ball is to stop the clock, right? That's what you're doing. Okay. You're there to stop the clock. I hear you. I see you. I don't quite understand it. It doesn't make sense. Neither here nor there. You're stopping the clock. Fine. But now it gets more interesting.
But we're just starting, boys and girls. We're just starting to get... Now, I want you to watch this next play because he's going to roll out, throw a pass, caught. The clock should run out. They can't get up to spike it. They can't even, to be honest, get close. Pete Carroll, you're a piece of... Pete Carroll is one of the great scumbags. I would honestly punch Pete Carroll right in his old face if I saw him. So
I hear at Tony Katz today, do not recommend the violence. Good Lord, Portnoy. The rules of the internet versus the rules of radio are so different. Now, I didn't know this about Pete Carroll. I've done a much better job of getting myself up to snuff on a lot of different sports categories, football especially. But man, I didn't know there was such hate for Pete Carroll, former coach of the Seattle Seahawks, formerly there at USC and some other places, and now with the Las Vegas Raiders. I had no idea, no clue. And some people are like, oh. And some people are like, you don't know he's called Sneaky Pete? Sneaky Pete. Sneaky Pete is a guy who's some low-level drug runner in a much greater mafia story. Sneaky Pete. Next thing you know, there's little Paulie. The whole thing's going on. So he's got some choice words for Pete Carroll. So the Las Vegas Raiders set up for a pass. They set up for a pass. They're in the shotgun, and then this.
Oh, all right, here we go. 16 seconds. Raiders are definitely cheating right now, doing whatever. Big money clearly on the Raiders, plus the points. So they throw down here. There's 9, 8. Watch. He gets up. They call that a delay of game. There's 4 seconds. The game is over. What is that flag? By the way, we're going to rewind it. Jones didn't even do anything.
So the player goes down, the Las Vegas Raiders player goes down. And then he gets covered up a little bit by the Broncos on the defense, right? To try and run out the clock or whatever it is. But then the Broncos player gets up and the Las Vegas player gets up, and all of a sudden a flag is thrown. And the flag is a defensive penalty. But what does the flag do? It stops the clock with 4 seconds left. And this is what's got Portnoy out of his mind, right? He can't believe it was called a penalty. He's talking about it. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. And then he gets into what is the crux of the situation.
Delay a game when the game is over? Dude, what are you I've seen that 1,000 times worse. It's 4, 3, 2, 1. Go home. Game's over. And then Pete Carroll runs out the field goal unit and kicks a field goal to end the game with no time. This guy, prison. This ref, prison. Pete Carroll, prison. NFL, prison. This is the most rigged game I've ever seen in my entire life.
And with doing that, with kicking the field goal, they changed. I think the spread was 7.5, and they beat the spread. And people are like, this is it. This is the proof. The NFL is rigged. Now, I want to say for the record again, Roger Goodell, this is what other people are saying. I did not say such a thing. But let's not pretend that Portnoy don't have something interesting to talk about here, shall we? Let us not be people who want to play some great big game of make-believe that he's just making it all up. Oh, no. That happened. That happened. My problem with all conspiracy theories is that once you buy into them, everything's a conspiracy theory. You can find a conspiracy theory under every pot. You can find one under every rock. You can turn a corner, boom, conspiracy theory, just hitting you in the face. And so I think there's a fair amount of that happening. But are we going to pretend that the gambling doesn't have an effect on everything? If Pete Rose existed in this world, would he have ever been banned from baseball for life? The gambling's ubiquitous. It's 24/7, 365. And look, I've done ads before for one of the betting apps. I'm not opposed to the betting apps. But holy mackerel, the people are like, we've got a real problem with betting in the United States. They're on to something. I don't want to ban it. Someone once said to me that we need to work aggressively to ban it. I'm like, no, it's legal, and I'm not here to stop that. There are people out there who want to ban cigars and bourbon. I tell those temperance folk to sit down. I'll do what I want. I'm not interested in your thoughts. Don't tell me about my health. I'm fully aware. Now hand me a cigar and another bourbon, please. But is this now getting to a place where outcomes are predetermined and worked to achieve, right? It's hard to predetermine whether or not the Broncos can score. It can be somewhat arranged to ensure an opportunity for a reduction in the spread. That's not theoretical. That proof is in the proof. Why do you think they called 7.5 points? What do you think that half point is? I gotta tell you, I not just Portnoy, right? You could argue, Portnoy, loudmouth, whatever. It's a lot of people buying into this, and we should be clear that the NFL has got a real problem with this. Now, do they care? I don't think they care. I mean, if they cared, they wouldn't be trying to push internationally the way they are. And we are just a decade away from having NFL teams based in other countries. I mean, that's coming, right? That's 10,000% coming. Dear Lord, they're playing in Spain. They're playing in Germany. They're playing in London. I mean, yeah, Tua once said, to play in Israel would be pretty cool. They're not going to do that. I would like to see which NFL players don't show up, just so I know which ones not to buy jerseys of. I'm kidding. I'm not buying any jerseys. But this is a thing. The NFL has got to start dealing with the fact that the fans think there's a problem. and they think that you are liars. And so now if you're betting on the games, what is it you're betting on? Outcomes or what somebody else has rigged as the outcome? Don't get angry with me, NFL. I'm just reporting. Seriously, am I getting sued? What are the odds? Are the odds high? Portnoy's got more cash than me. They'll go after him first. I'm not suggesting they do, but I'm saying I'd be further down. More like an accessory just for bringing up the story this time, kind of like here. He's not the only one having this conversation. He's not the only one bothered. The NFL better recognize they're not escaping this. People think that there is serious chicanery, and man, they're bringing receipts. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz Today.